Over the past 30 days, Solana has been the best performing high cap altcoin in the crypto markets. It has pumped 70% in the past 30 days. And in this video, guys, I'm going to tell you exactly what's going on, why the crazy pump. And, when it comes down to alternative layer ones, this is a really hard category. Ethereum and Ethereum layer 2s and layer 3s are where most people are focusing. And I was wondering, even just 2 months ago, could there be an alternative layer 1 that could challenge Ethereum? And when it comes down to a potential layer 1 that I have high conviction for the coming bull market, that is Solana. And in this video, we're going to go through all the research so I can show you what has got me into this high conviction move and made me double down on my Solana bags. So if that sounds good to you guys, like the video. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Kyle Chasse. I've been in crypto for 12 years, bringing you all the alpha on this channel so you have all the knowledge that you need to prepare and maximize your opportunity in this upcoming bull market. All right, let's get into it, guys. So congratulations. Let's start off first, look at the market. It is great to see after a grueling 2 years of a bear market, we have a green only market today with everything up, performing absolutely phenomenally. This is exciting to see, guys. We are back in a positive momentum market. And with that, I'm going to go into talking about Solana here. And you can see that Solana has broken out of this downward trend, right, that we were in for so long. And it started to break out, in the beginning of the month really significantly here. And this is outperforming Ethereum, outperforming Bitcoin, outperforming dollar, obviously. And there's only one, and you can see the past 30 days, it's up 70%. And there's only one other coin that we've been talking about, guys, that I just want to throw in here real quick before we get back to Solana. And it's, again, my high conviction play on Pepe. It has been absolutely crushing it, where it's up over more than Solana over the past 30 days. And up over 100% since I told you guys that I was going to aggressively aggressively dollar cost averaging into Pepe, and I'm adding to my bags because this kind of growth, real quick, is just absolutely insane. Look at you see the wallet starting to expand, and as more retailers come into the space, guess what they're going to be buying? Pepe, meme coins. And this thing is way under the market cap of Doge and Shiba. And I think it's gonna jump up there with them. So I think huge potential here in Pepe. But let's get back to Solana. So you can see here in Solana, all the metrics are up and to the right. This is going, and this is what I wanted to see, right? I wanted to see, was the community, after all the FTX drama, after the previous years of all the downtime, was the soul soldiers, the community, going to stick with the narrative and support this ecosystem? And you can just see there's been nothing but growth, nothing but building and improvement. So we're going to continue to get in all this growth and show you guys what's going on in the Solana ecosystem. So when you look at TVL, you can see that it doesn't look very impressive compared to what it used to be. But you can see if we zoom in here on the chart, let's see, and look at what's going on here, you can start to see, and this is why it's so important that I bring this to you guys today, is because you can start to see over the past year here, we're starting the year in 2023, and you start to see this kind of parabolic run up over here of really this past month, or actually just even 2 weeks, or even this week here, of massive growth in the Solana ecosystem. Now, of course, this is just a drop in the bucket when you compare it to, and I don't know if you guys, yeah, you can see that. I don't know if because my face is in the way, it's nothing compared to this, TVL that it had before, but it's getting there, guys. It's getting there, and it's what I wanted to see revived growth in the ecosystem. Now, if you're bullish on Bitcoin, then you should also be bullish on Solana. You can see here over the past month, there's been a high correlation of the price movement between Bitcoin and Solana. So for bullish Bitcoin or bullish Solana, you can look at Solana essentially as a leveraged trade on Bitcoin. So, and what we've seen that is exactly, whereas in Bitcoin has pumped 22% over the past 7 days, Solana 37%. So it grows exponentially compared to Bitcoin. And that usually is both ways, up and down. But I am extremely long and excited here in the for Bitcoin. So that means I'm extremely long and excited for Solana as well. And in just a minute, we're going to talk to what I think maybe the potential price is of Solana in the upcoming bull market, and why that's so important, right, guys? And why are we talking about all these tokens right now that are trading on the secondary market? Because we all know that in the upcoming bull run, there's going to be lots of opportunities for IDOs. Paid Ignition is launching again soon, version 2. That's really exciting as well. And people make insane money there. But also in the secondary market, you have 100% of your tokens liquid when you buy them. So there's no vesting, there's no cliff. And that means that you have the opportunity to plan a strategy for the upcoming bull market, right? And so I will get into what I think the price of Solana might do and why that's significant to your portfolio. And also, guys, we are well diversified here on this channel, well diversified in my portfolio. And it's important, we'll talk about this soon, just kind of like the exit strategy in the bull market to make sure that you lock in good gains in the bull market and you don't get stuck holding your entire bag when the next bear market comes around and you're down 80% of your portfolio. You don't want that to happen. If you're new to the crypto space, if you're just coming in for the first time, this is something that you have to pay attention to. If you've been around since the last bull market, you know the pain of what it feels like to see your portfolio drop 80, 90% in value and or even more in a lot of cases. So let's get into some of the fundamentals about Solana here. Now, you can see that Visa is doing a partnership with Solana, and Visa has, obviously, this is kind of the golden standard of what everyone talks about. Like, can a blockchain support the transactions per second of something like Visa, MasterCard, things like that, right? And I want to get into, we'll get into the partnership in just a second and the speed, but let's look at some other metrics. And the Visa thing is not to be understated, right? That's big, but we'll get into even why it's maybe even more important in just a minute. Now, a lot of people give criticism to Solana for being highly centralized, right? And there was that kind of joke tweet that was out a while ago where, it was like the Caroline Ellison trial where they're like, yeah, Solana is a highly centralized VC chain and we shut it down, it's centralized, blah, blah, blah. But you can see here, this is the Nakamoto coefficient, guys. Now, Nakamoto coefficient is essentially a score, to make it very simple on how it works, is the higher the number, the more decentralized a network is. Now, this is a Messari report. We're going to cover it a couple times in this video, but you can see that even though it fell 12% quarter over quarter, but still remains among industry leaders. So here you can see I found the Nakaflow.io, the Nakamoto coefficients of other layer 1 blockchains, and you can see that Avalanche, surprisingly, is one amongst the top. Thorchain, the most decentralized, the most resistant to attacks. But Solana coming in here, number 23, in the third position, even more decentralized. This is even hard for me to believe. I would have to double check this, but it's showing here on this, at least according to this, that it's got a higher Nakamoto coefficient than Ethereum. So, and third in the industry. Now, of course, one of my biggest criticisms last year about Solana was the fact that it was down a lot, right? Now, of course, every time a network blockchain is up and it goes down, they're going to learn from it. They're going to make improvements and try to figure out what happened and how to keep it up. Now, you can see that when this report was written from Messari, this was, I think, just October 17th. So we're talking about 9 days ago. You can see that as of 9 days ago, so add 9 to this, we're at 243 days of uptime, right? So almost an entire year. Now, what will be really interesting to see is, does this hold up in the bull market when Solana has way more volume, way more transactions, way more users? Because it's much more difficult to keep a blockchain up and going when it's got high usage, and that's what Solana's promise is, right? Cheap, fast, and decentralized. Now, but so far so good, right? And how they worked all the bugs out, we shall see. The test of time will tell. But we know that this is a very viable alternative layer 1, and Ethereum has a long way to go before it becomes a scalable layer 1, right? And that's why all the layer 2s are there to relieve a lot of the transactions that happen there. But you want a highly decentralized, highly secure layer 1. It's just more efficient than having to go to layer 2 and have it finalize and settle on Ethereum layer 1, for example. And you can see that also there's a lot of innovation happening in the Solana network, right? So you have Neon Labs, which has built an EVM on top of Solana. Now, why is that important? Because you have a lot of Solidity developers that can now go build Ethereum smart contracts or Solidity smart contracts on Solana versus the native Rust that you had before. Also, Hyperledger is building an Ethereum EVM as well. And this is also really, really interesting, guys. So you have this, again, this Messari report from May 30th. It says Firedancer, which is being built by Jump, put Solana in the range of Web 2 throughput capability. So you can see Ethereum layer 1, 24 transactions per second. Ethereum plus optimistic rollups, so optimism. You've got, and other optimistic rollups too, layer 2s. You got 5.2 thousand transactions per second. ZK Sync, 2,000. Now ZK Sync as well using Validiums, which are more centralized layer 2s or layer 3s that Matter Labs and ZK Sync are building. This is 20,000 TPS. Solana currently in its current state, 3.5 thousand TPS. But Solana with Firedancer. This is the big one, guys. This is a new, Firedancer is a new client for validators that would allow a more efficient validation system on Solana. And right now in testing, they're getting 600,000 to 1.2 million transactions per second, or 85 to 180,000 transactions available, TPS available for transactions. Now, watch this. So what does Firedancer unlock for Solana? Firedancer would make Solana capable of handling NASDAQ, New York Stock Exchange, Twitter, and all of Visa's daily transactions all at once, all on the same shared state, and with room to spare. Those platforms would all add up to roughly 150,000 transactions per second. Firedancer's initial tests show roughly 600,000 transactions per second at the lower estimate. So you can even put on MasterCard on top of there and probably some other things as well. So extremely bullish for the future of what Firedancer could add to Solana. And this would open it up for a whole plethora of enterprise use cases. Now, of course, we'd have to see this tried and tested in the real world. So is Firedancer on Solana going to open it up to all these enterprise plays all at once, or even in the next year? Highly unlikely, right? But it is in this narrative, and with Solana's marketing firepower, and it really could be a very strong narrative for the upcoming bull run to pump the price of Solana like crazy. And you can just see here too on the comparable layer ones how Solana is doing compared to everybody else as far as price. It's just this is the community, guys. The community is so important in this industry, right? You can have amazing technology, but if you don't have the community, and that's why this is why it makes me this is why it's making Solana for me my high conviction alt layer 1 play that I'm doubling down on my bags from when I talked about this on September 5th to you guys. I bought a really big bag then, and now I've doubled down, even though we have this pump. Now, where do I think that the price of Solana could go? Again, we talked about Solana here on September 5th at 1931. We're up at $32 today, 32.5, guys. So congratulations if you bought when I did. So you're up 70% on that. Now, the all-time high price of Solana was $260, right? And I think that which is about a 9x from here. Now, I think that we can easily double that in the upcoming bull run, right? And I think that's very reasonable. We're gonna have. Now, you might say that's crazy. Like, it only went up to $80 billion before, and $80 billion is only a 7x from here. But we are going to have more money coming into crypto than ever before, right? I think we topped out like around a $3 trillion market cap or something the last bull run. I think we're going to get to like a $10 trillion, so market cap in this next bull run. So I definitely expect that we can see, something like maybe an 18x in Solana's price from here. Now, what does that mean? That means if you put $1,000 in, that turns into $18,000 in. You put $10,000 in, it turns into $180,000. You put in $1 million, it turns into $18 million. Now, if you're starting with a low amount in your crypto portfolio, maybe that's not retirement money. Whereas a 500x, which you can do in a bull run, you can do these on certain things. It's happened before, right? Star Atlas, Paid Network, these different meme coins. The possibilities are there, right? But you getting into that and making those kind of returns are highly unlikely. It's just rare, but it happens, right? It happens and you hear it time and time again. Now, if Solana goes to 20x and you were to buy in today, right? Buy in today from here, and then you started taking some profits. Let's say you took a 30-year profits at 10x from here, a 30-year profits at 15x from here, and a 30-year profits at 20x from here. You're averaging a 15x from here, right? And so if you were to 15x your portfolio, just think about what is your crypto portfolio? What is your, and you were to 15x between here and the next 18 months or so. And then another 2 years later, 3 years later, 4 years later, you did another 15x from there. And then another 3 or 4 years later, you did a 15x from there, right? Then you are talking about in 12 years retiring, right? Which is without having to do much work other than pay attention to the markets and make sure that you invest properly, that you do your due diligence properly, and that you're making high conviction, smart plays. So for these reasons, guys, I'm extremely bullish on Solana in the future. I have doubled down on my bags, and I hope that you guys have a great day. I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you later. Bye-bye.